Become a Patreon of Java today and receive a ton of perks including Discord roles, early access content, private support channels, code snippets, and more. Join today at patreon.com/javajs. Alright, what is up guys? My name is Zua from Java. Today we're gonna be making a load screen that has a load bar and it'll have some background music. So sorry about the background noise. It's my fan, like always. So the link in the description will be or it'll have the code that we write today, all there in the description. So let's get started with this. What we're doing pretty much, or how this works, or how load screens work, are it's mainly front-end web development. It's HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. So if you're familiar with front-end web development, this should be easy for you. If you're not, just try to follow along and see how this works, because it's very customizable since it's with HTML and CSS. So let's get started here. I already created a folder called loadscreen. That's what I'm going to call it. So what I'm going to want to do is now I'm going to open this in Visual Studio. Whatever you want to use, go ahead. So I'm going to create my first file in that folder called _resource.lua. So there's my resource.lua. In here and I'm also going to make a folder called HTML. So in my resource.lua, I'm going to copy and paste the resource manifest version. You can find that in the description. I have it in this just because it's a load screen. I don't know if you're supposed to have one, but it's a good habit. So we're gonna need a load screen kind of thing here, which will declare the HTML file for it. So in the HTML folder, we will make a file called index.html. I'll do that right after. And let's do that right now. Index.html. That's there. And then we're also gonna have a lot of other files. So what I'm gonna do is have the files array there, or table, and it'll have HTML / so everything in that folder that we have. This asterisk right after the directory thing means it's gonna sort of like use all of the it's going to use all the files in there, any file or directory, so everything in there. So I'm going to create another file in my HTML folder now called we're just going to call it main.js, and we're also going to be creating a main.css, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm also gonna need two files. I don't even have them downloaded, but I'm gonna be downloading them right now. So oh, that is not it. Okay. So what you're gonna want pretty much is what's called a picture, and also what's called a MP3 file, or I'm gonna be using an MP3 file. So there's my picture. I'm gonna have to get it's not letting me download it. Here, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my MP3 file here. You can use whatever file you want. I think that's compatible with HTML. I'll show you what that means later, but yeah, so sorry about that. I didn't have that downloaded, so yeah, that's my bad. So now what we're going to want to do actually is let's start writing the HTML file here. So what I'm going to want to do is start off with the HTML tags, and we're going to have head tags because those are very important. In this head tag, we're going to have a meta tag that has names equal to viewport. This is good for scaling. This kind of keeps your page consistent, so just copy is what I do. With is equal to device with comma initial scale is equal to 1. So pretty much what you need that for is just scaling, like I said. Okay, yeah, so that's that, and then we're gonna be linking our style sheet right here, our main.css, so I'm gonna do that right now. So this is what we're gonna be writing a lot. If I didn't mention that already, I might have already, but this is gonna be, I feel like this is gonna be a long video. So rel is equal, just copy is what I do, href is equal to main.css right there. Okay, so we linked our main.css to this HTML file, and now we're gonna have body tags with the ID, or no, class of background. So I'll show you what we're gonna do with that class right now, actually. But pretty much, let's go into our, or I'm gonna split this off right here. There we go. So oops, I want to switch like that. Okay, so this class, we're gonna start off with I don't know why I wrote this. I think we might need it, but we're gonna need to give everything the color of EEE, which is just white. I don't remember why I did this. I wrote this code a bit ago, like a couple days ago, I think. So yeah, and then we're gonna need the class background of a background color, or at least it's very customizable. You do what you guys want to do, but I'm just gonna make this Java theme, so that color is kind of like our background color right here for Java. So now the page will be completely, as you can see, it's gonna be completely blank. So yeah, so now what I'm gonna do is I don't know what I just clicked. We're gonna have the div with a container. So it's gonna have a class of container, and then we're gonna have the we'll define container in a bit, but we're gonna have image src is equal to java.png. That's just gonna be giving us that little picture in, or we're gonna make it the picture in the middle of the screen to make it like an actual load screen. So now I'm gonna define container. Container is gonna have position fixed, top 50%, left 50%. Now if you're an actual if you know a lot about CSS, the way I'm centering these objects is very it's probably gonna make you mad, but I'm doing this just because that's how I do it, or this is how I center things, like in the complete middle of the screen. So yeah, this is just gonna be centered, so you'll see in a bit. In fact, I think you can see that's just gonna be in the middle of our screen right there. So yeah, now what we gotta do is we're gonna make our I'm gonna make some comments here. So this is the middle of screen. It's good to have comments, by the way. I think it's supposed to be on the bottom, or whatever. And then now right here I'm gonna do is the audio, or background audio. Okay, and then what we want to do for audio is an audio tag with controls, loop. We want to loop it, autoplay, so it plays automatically, and hidden so no one can see it. And in here we're going on a source tag with src is equal to song.mp3, and the type is equal to audio /mp3. Now if you're using like a .ogg, then all you gotta do is just make that ogg, and then like that. But I'm just using the mp3 file format, so that's what it's gonna be for me. So yeah, that should work now. I'm gonna put this in a div hash audio. I don't know why I did that, and I definitely spelled that wrong. Audio, just to make it look better, I guess. Okay. Now, what we want to do, we're gonna set up the load bar here. The load bar, the logic behind it is kind of confusing, and the JavaScript, it doesn't really. It's weird. It's super weird, and I don't fully get it, but the JavaScript part that we're gonna write soon, I based it off of Kex loading screen, which is from the CFX server data master. I'll link it in the description if you want an example. So yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do div hash load bar. What this is doing right here is just, it makes it like that. It's just a faster way of writing code, I guess. So the load bar has that value, and then we need to give the div. Oh, these are classes. Oops. Okay. That's awkward. Okay. So I'm gonna do div dot progress bar right inside of there, and then we're also gonna want to have the script of, we're gonna want to link our main.js that we're gonna write soon. We want to link that to this document. So right now it should just be looking like the same, because we need the progress bars. We need to write the progress bars thing. So I'm gonna hold off on the JavaScript part. We need to do the load bar. So the load bar, and then we're also gonna need to declare or style the progress bar too. So I'm just gonna do the progress bar first because it's smaller, or it's shorter. So I need to do width is 10%. It's gonna be fixed on the bottom of our screen. And you'll see how this works. So I'm gonna have the background color. Oops, I forgot a semicolon. You have to have semicolons, by the way, when you're writing CSS, or else it'll completely break, as you just saw. And I have my custom colors that I've already pre-declared, the Java colors, and height of 20 pixels, and position absolute left 10%, and yeah, that's that. It's supposed to be 20 pixels. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, now the load bar, it's a lot of stuff. I don't even remember writing this, so we'll just copy, I guess. So width is going to be 10%, or no, it's going to be 100%. Oops. 100%. This width right here, it doesn't matter because it's going to be manipulated by the main.js that we will write. I promise you, we're going to write it. So we don't have to declare it. But this has to be 100% because you'll see, it's hard to explain. And then we're gonna have the background color of which is white again. Now I think I can explain to you guys. We haven't made the code for what's it called? We haven't completely made the code to go on the bottom, but I'm just saying that's the progress bar, and then the white that we're gonna have, it'll be going across, and you'll see. So the width is gonna be just like that. Height is gonna be the same height because we don't want it to look weird. Basically the same as the progress bar's height. Now we're gonna have margin left is 2 pixels. Margin right is 3 pixels. I'm doing this off of how I wrote it. Margin top is 5 pixels. Margin bottom is also 5 pixels. So and then we also want to write overflow hidden position is fixed, so we don't want it to be manipulated. It has to be left 0. That's OCD right there. Bottom 0 display block. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So as you can see, that's what I was looking for, or that's what I was aiming for. This white that goes across the bottom is the what is it? The load bar, and then this red part will be manipulated by JavaScript as it'll be our progress bar. You can't hear the music, by the way. It only works in game, I guess. I don't know why is that, but I think it's something to do with Chrome. But so let's do the main.js now here. This is confusing, so just follow along. I kind of took this from this link right here. I'll put it in the description. This is what I based it off of. So yeah. So we have to make a var count is equal to 0. Var this count is equal to 0. And we have to make a const handlers, which is gonna be a object that has a bunch of functions that will be handling the event window.add event listener. It'll be listening for the message event. Like when you're loading into the game, the game itself will emit a bunch of messages for the load screen, so we're gonna have to listen to these messages. Function E, and then that's the callback right there, E, and then we'll be using I'm gonna first go do the handlers first. So one of the handlers is or one of the events is start, or I don't know, whatever, init function order data. I hope I spelled that right. Okay, and then we have to set count is equal to data.count. Okay, then init function invoking and data, and then in here we're gonna do document.query selector, and then we're gonna get the class progress bar. Remember how I said we're gonna manipulate the progress bar, this little red bit right here. We're gonna do that here. So progress bar dot style dot left is equal to 0%. This isn't a string. 0%. Here, I'm gonna close this out just so you can see. So it'll be 0%. Oops, I don't know what just happened here. I guess let's be style. I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Oh, there has to be commas here too. I'm really out of it. Okay, so that'll give it 0%, and then we have to write this again, but for the width. So I'm just gonna copy it because I'm lazy. Width, and then it's equal to data.idx, which I have no idea what that is, divided by count times 100, and then we have to add the string, or we have to add % at the end because CSS will take percents, or we're going to be using percents for this. Now we have to do start data file entries data count is equal to data.count, same thing, and after that, I keep forgetting the commas. I don't really write JavaScript like this, ever. So I'm just a little not used to writing it like that. But now the last one is perform map load function data, and then this count, we have to be giving it +1, which is what that is, and then we have to, I'm gonna copy this again here, style, and then this was the exact same thing. So the first part is like that, and then the width this time will be equal to, instead of data.idx, it'll be this count divided by count times 100 plus %, because you need it to be in a string with %, because we're doing CSS. So now we have to kind of bind this to this variable, or all of these to this variable, or we're going to be using this variable and we're going to be binding it with the event. So when these events do happen, we'll be good. So we have to do in parentheses handler, and then e.data.event name, and then and then we have to do or function, this gets confusing, and then e.data. So just like that, that's what it'll do. I'm gonna go load this up, and yeah, I'll see you guys in game, or at least in the menus. Okay, so I'm in the game now. I'm gonna click localhost. I'm gonna join my server, and there we go. Yeah, I just put on my headphones and I hear the audio now, and this is just a simple little load screen. You can see the progress bar working too. I think this is loud. I'm gonna turn it down here. Yeah, it's you know, it's doing this thing. It's a very simple load screen, but you know, the possibilities are endless because it's HTML. So if you have any ideas, let me know for next videos, and if you do make a load screen, you can tweet it at our Twitter at JavaJS. I'm curious to see what you guys can make, and yeah, sorry for not uploading once again. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.